Thank you so much for sitting with us. So let me ask you, in terms of where the Philippines is now, how do you see it in terms of taxes and what you're doing?
Well, we're in a much, much better position than when we started in 2010. Basically, I think interest rate first, I think credit rating has basically affirmed what I'm saying, that we're in a much better position. Interest rates are down. Uh, our fiscal conditions are much better. Whereas before our problem was we don't have money. Now our problem is not that. It's how to spend it faster.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, spending it, we know what we want to spend it for, but it's just a length of time, because you have to go through all the processes.
You've been fearless in running after taxes, and you've had both the people who praise you and the critics who say that it's too much. It's the shame campaign. What's been the result of what's been the reactions to the shame campaign?
No, first, I'd like to say that it's not really, for me, it's not shame campaign. It's more a transparency campaign. It's not making people aware that these are, in this industry, this is the way people report it, and how much taxes they're paying. And basically making people aware, do you think this is the correct amount?
Yeah.
The shame part is really on the recipient of the message.
Yes.
But as far as we're concerned, it's really information, and making people aware that you cannot hide because of the way things are going. So you better think twice if you want to cheat. But as there,
Has it been successful?
well, there are, we will know by sometime at the latest September, because we have to get all the number of filers, the average amount of taxes paid. But I believe for the self-employed professionals, it has a good effect. Like for example, we're like the doctors,
Yes.
who raise a lot of complaint. Because of the campaign, basically they became aware that there's a deficiency on their part. So now there's a discussion going on how we can, in a discussion of making them aware what their responsibilities are, and them asking questions, clarifying things. So a lot of things has been clarified, So hopefully all of this will translate to better tax payment by the doctors specifically.
You are actually changing everything, a lot of things inside both the BIR and then the systems that surround, the culture that surrounds it. What are the hardest challenges you've had to face in doing this?
Well, everything's difficult. I don't think there's anything that's easy, but we have to start somewhere. And I think we made a very good start on day one, and we sent a very strong message that basically the Bureau of Internal Revenue is just for implementing of the law the way it should be implemented. And basically that in effect we're also making ourselves less powerful, because we're going to be exercising less discretion, because we're strictly complying with the law. There's a lot of things that are already in the law, which I sometimes find
Has not
funny that people said they're just now that they know. Like for example, the requirement of issuance of receipts. I think that has been there ever since there's a tax
Yes.
system, and that's been there all over the world. So I don't know. So sometimes it's bordering to being funny, some of the argument, that it's something new, but actually it's not. It's been there.
You've been criticized as much as you've been praised. Have there been any personal costs for you?
First, no.
Okay, so you're not fazed by any, because certainly people are, when you run after people to do things they haven't done before, you get some resistance. That doesn't bother
But
you.
that's
normal.
Yeah, that's normal.
Okay.
And basically, if you're doing something right, there's this is my anecdote. We're 119 years old. So it's hard to change a habit that's 119 years old. So, and then you change it into something good. No? Bad habits are easy to acquire.
Yes.
Good habits are harder. No? So it will be difficult, no? But you have to be persistent, no? To basically make it hold, no? So that when we leave, it will not go back to the old habit.
Some businesses have said that the policies are arbitrary and that they're actually your call. Is that correct?
For me, it's not arbitrary because I'm just implementing the tax code.
What
the tax code said, we implement strictly. No? And basically, the Bureau of Internal Revenue is not a political machinery that consensus building is required. No? It's a law enforcement machinery. So I think the thing there is what the law says is what we will apply. So what is there to build consensus about? No? The building of consensus should have happened when the law was passed, before the law was passed. But after that, there's no more consensus building because our duty is just to implement it.
And the last question is, do you think that your initiatives now, what you've been doing, is that good or bad for foreign investors? Because one of the things that we've seen is that foreign direct investments in the Philippines hasn't really gone to where it needs to be. We're still very low numbers in terms of FDIs. Is a tax regime, what you're doing in the tax regime, positive or negative?
Actually, the reason for low investment is not tax.
Yeah,
Because if you make a survey,
agree, yes.
it's fourth among the
Yes,
line. No? The
yes.
first is infrastructure. No? If we don't collect taxes, we will never address the infrastructure problem. And no FDI figure will remain low. No? That's why we have this legislative initiative of fiscal incentive rationalization. No? Because what's the use of giving incentive, income tax holiday, if we don't have infrastructure, we don't have well-trained people, no? So we have to spend for education.
Yes.
And all this spending will have to come from tax revenue. No? So, and the other thing is, personally, I believe that at the end of the day, the tax regime should be the same for everyone. No? If everyone is taxed the same way, we can lower the rate. It's when you have pockets of incentive or exemption, then in effect you're distorting the tax regime. No? So in that sense, then it becomes more difficult, no? Because when you come here, you have to ask several questions. Whereas if it's the same, all you have to do is read one book. When you make the decision, you already know what's happening. And businessman, you know, if the business is here, even if you have a high interest, high tax rate, they will come because they will make money. If you have a low tax rate, but there's no business,
yes.
No businessman will come, no? Because they will adjust.
Okay, so you see it as part of a whole ecosystem.
Yes.
I said last, but ASEAN, the ASEAN Economic Community kicks in December 2015. Do you see any changes to the way you do your work?
Not for taxation, no? Because even if you look at the European community, the way each country tax their people is different and distinct. And the other thing is taxation is the very essence of a sovereign state. So even with a economic community, if you believe yourself to be a country, a sovereign country, you will never surrender how you will tax the people inside that territory.
All right, thank you. Thanks so much.